Welcome to the another module of optical communication. In this module, I am going to explain about the wave model. Okay. In this lecture, we will discuss about the contents which are wave model and why we are using the wave model and how the wave represented in the dielectric waveguide. First, we will discuss about the wave model. So, in this model, the light is travel in the form of a electromagnetic waves. That means we have the electromagnetic spectrums or electromagnetic waves, those waves which are transmitted in the form of a light signal, and this light signal which can be described in terms of a wavelength and frequency and speed. So whatever you have the electromagnetic waves, those electromagnetic waves here were transmitted in the form of a light signal. That light signal which is described in the terms of a wavelength, frequency and speed. Whenever you have the electromagnetic waves, those electromagnetic waves which are now represented as a wave, not a ray. In this model, we are discussing about wave model. So previous class we are discussed about the ray models. So in that we are transmitted inside the fiber, the light wave is propagated in the form of a ray. But in the wave model, the light signal which is transmitted in the form of a sinusoidal signal. So what is the generally wave represents the a wave that propagates from one point to another point in the form of a oscillations. Okay, wave represents the oscillations. Okay, one complete oscillation. One complete oscillation means the both positive and negative of cycle. This represents one complete cycle, which is a one oscillation. One oscillation which is represented as the one complete cycle. Okay. See here, I gave the example. So this is the general representation of a wave. Okay, this is the starting point. So this one is represented the positive of cycle, and this is the negative of cycle with ending point. This is the complete cycle and one oscillation. This is complete cycle and it have the one oscillations. From here to here, that means starting point to ending point, which is represented as wavelength, and we can also find out the time period. Okay, the time period means the time taken to complete one cycle. The time taken or time required to complete one cycle. So that is represented as the time period. So in this y-axis, this is represents the amplitude. So this y-axis is represents the amplitude. This signal is now we can represent it in terms of a phase wave, means phase. Actually we are discussed about is the amplitude, and the x-axis we can represent as the time period. So this wave we can also represent it as a phase. Okay. So this is the starting, this is the axis. So from this point the signal will be started. So at this point the signal which have the phase angle of a 0 degree. At this point the signal having the phase of 0 degree. This point is represented as completion of one half cycle. Completion of one half cycle with a angle of pi. This angle is pi means 180 degrees, and the completion of another half cycle which takes another pi angle means another 180 degrees, pi plus pi, which is having the 2 pi angle. Okay. According to this waveform, one complete cycle it have an angle of 0 to 2 pi degree. That means the complete cycle which have the phase of 360 degrees. The complete cycle it have the phase angle of 360 degrees. Okay, this is the representation of a wave which have the amplitude and frequencies, and here we are represented the phase angle of the signal. Next, why wave model? Why we are going for the wave model? Why not ray model? So in the ray model there is some drawbacks, so which is represented as the ray model gives an impression that during the total internal reflections. So that means, let us assuming this is a optical fiber. So according to the total internal reflections, the incident wave, suppose we are incidenting a signal here, so this incident signal which is totally reflected inside the waveguide. We have discussed in the ray model. According to the total internal reflections, the incident signal which is completely reflected inside the waveguide. But in practical, it is impossible. In practical, it is impossible. Some of the light will propagated in the cladding also. Some of the light will be propagated to the cladding also. So this is the limitation in the ray model. It cannot describes about the dispersion of a light signals, and the ray model does not telling about discrete fields. We cannot discuss about the discrete fields in the ray model. So what is the discrete fields? So discrete field means whenever we are applying the signal in terms of a zeros and ones, or if the signal is transmitted as in the form of a discrete, this type of signal we cannot propagate it by using the ray model. Means the ray model which cannot talks about the discrete signals. Okay, so come to the point of a why we are going for the wave model to explain the mode theory and dispersion of a light signal, interference, and a diffraction. All these concepts we are explaining by using the wave model. These topics cannot explain by the ray model. Okay, whatever you have the parameters now, these parameters we cannot determine with the help of a ray model. Okay, this ray model only we can find out the total internal reflections, numerical aperture. Okay, so but the parameters of a dispersion, interference of signal, and diffraction of a light cannot be explained by the ray model. Okay, the operation inside the waveguide. Okay, this is the waveguide, means we are using the circular waveguide. Assuming the operation inside the waveguide, whatever you have the operation inside the waveguide, that is completely based upon the interference of a two signals. Through optical fiber, we can transmit the n number of signals. Okay, so the interference of a two signals, which is describes the operation of a waveguide. Okay, So suppose if I am incident the signal here, this is one signal, this is another signal. Okay, so this is the axis. Now the signal is assuming reflected in this form, and this signal is reflected in this form. So here it has some phase angle, here it has some phase angle. So at this position which have some phase angle, so based upon the incident of the waveguide, sorry, incident of the signal inside the waveguide, the interference will be occurred. Okay, based upon the interference we can determining the operation of the optical fibers. See, the interference will be described by the phase angle of incident the light signal. Whatever we are incident the light signal which have some phase angle. So based upon the phase angle, the interference will be described. Means the interference will be occurred. Okay. So generally we are the ray model. It cannot explain about the dispersion. Okay. So generally the dispersion means, suppose if you are applying the signal in this format. So as a pulse travels down a fiber, the dispersion causes pulse will be spreading. Okay. So due to the problem of a dispersion, the pulses will be spreading with the time. So generally this is the signal. So while increasing the time period of a signal, whatever you are applying the pulse signal here, that pulse signal width will be increases, means the pulses will be spreading. This limits the distance and the bitrate of data on an optical fiber. Okay. So see, in this case we are transmitting the 1, 0 and 1. Okay. Now due to the dispersion, whatever we are transmitting the information here, so that information 1, due to the dispersion it will be spread into the second data also. So there will be a unrecognizable information due to the dispersion problem. Okay. So now we will discuss about the propagation of light inside the optical fiber cable. Okay, because why we are discussing about the propagation of light signal, so based upon the propagation of a two or more signal inside the waveguide, there is a existing of interference. So that interference now we will discuss. Let us assuming if you are inside the signal here. Okay, so this medium is represented as air. Let us assuming this medium is a air. So from this medium, suppose if you are incident the signal here, means incident the signal at the core, this is the core and this is the medium, means air. When the signal is incident at the boundary of a core and air, this incident signal is now travel or propagated inside the waveguide. At the boundary of a core cladding, the signal will be reflected. Okay. At this boundary position, the signal it makes some angle here. The signal which makes some angle. So the incident signal at the core and air boundary with an angle of theta naught, assuming this angle is theta naught, and inside the core the signal which have the angle of theta, at the core and cladding boundary the incident signal will be reflected and it will make an angle of pi. See here, the incident signal at the boundary of air and core with an angle of theta naught. We are incident the signal with an angle of theta naught. So this incident signal, it makes an angle inside the core with theta, and the incident signal at the core and cladding boundary, it makes an angle of pi. So this signal is reflected in this form. So according to this phase angle pi, see, this is a form of a right angle triangle. This is the form of a right angle triangle. So from this we can find out the angle of theta. This from this we can find out the angle of reflection. Suppose the pi we have to determine here. Okay, so actually this is the right angle triangle. So the right angle triangle, you know about the right angle triangle. So the theta plus pi, which is equal to 90 degrees, is the right angle triangle having the angle of 90 degrees. From this we can find out the angle of reflections inside the fiber. So that is pi is equal to 90 minus theta. Okay. From this diagram we can find out the angle of pi, which is equal to 90 minus theta, and come to this waveform representation. This is the axis of the fiber. So I am inserting the signal here. So assuming this is the ray 1, this is ray 1, and this is ray 2. We are inserting the signal, it is a ray 1 and another signal ray 2. The incident signal ray 1, it will reflected back, means it will make the total internal reflections inside the fiber, and ray 2 also, this is ray 2, this is also reflected here. Okay. And in this fiber I am projected some lines in order to find out the phase angle of the particular signal. So suppose assuming this is the signal inside the fiber, so this fiber here it have some angle, and here it have some angle, and this spot have some angle, and here it is some angle. So I am projected the light dotted lines which will represent the angle of a particular ray, the angle of particular ray. So this angle is represents the angle of ray 2. Okay, and these angles which are represents the ray 1. Okay, so here this angle is 0 and this angle is pi. Okay, and this angle is 2 pi, assuming the angles are pi and 2 pi, and this angle is 3 pi, and this is 4 pi. So let us assuming these are the angles of your ray 1, and the angle here, this is represented as pi, and this is 2 pi, which is the angle of your ray 2, and this is 3 pi, and this one is 4 pi. Why we are discussing about the phase angle here? Because the internal reflections means the interference of two signals we can determining based upon the phase angle. Whenever two signals are incident inside the fiber, so there will be the interference. Okay, based upon the phase angle, the interference will be occurred. So we can find out the phase angle of a particular signal. So suppose assuming this is the angle of pi, this signal will interfere with the ray 2 with an angle of pi here. So now both the signals which have the phase difference of pi and pi, the phase difference is 0. Both the signals which have pi and pi, the phase difference is 0. At this position the difference is 0, and at this position the signal having the phase angle of pi and this signal is having the phase angle of 2 pi, so it will gives the difference of angle pi. Okay. In this condition the phase angle difference is 0. At this position the phase angle difference is pi. Okay. Based upon the phase difference of two signals, there will be the interference. Okay. Generally the interference inside the waveguide, which is two types. One of the interference is constructive interference and another interference is destructive interference. There will be the two types of interference which is existed inside the waveguide. So one is constructive interference, another one is destructive interference. The phase difference of two incoming signals is pi. Okay, here told when the phase difference is pi and another phase signal is 2 pi, so now the difference is pi. If the phase difference of two signals is pi, then it creates the destructive interference. And the constructive interference is occurs when the phase difference between the two incoming signals is 0 degrees or 2 pi degrees. Let us suppose this signal having an angle of pi, so assuming this is 1, and another signal it is incident with an angle of 2 pi, so at this point both the signals are interacted to each other. So at this point there is a phase difference is pi, 2 pi and pi, the phase difference is pi. It will create the destructive interference. Suppose if the signal is 2 pi and another signal is 4 pi, now the difference is 2 pi. It will make the constructive interference. Okay. At this condition, when the phase difference is pi, then it will create the destructive interference. If the phase difference is 2 pi, then constructive interference is occurred inside the optical fiber or waveguide. The wave representation in the dielectric waveguide. How the wave is represented inside the waveguide. Okay. Whenever the plane which is propagated inside the fiber or waveguide, it should be satisfy the following condition. So the condition which is 2 pi n1 d into cos pi by lambda plus delta is equal to m pi. Okay, this is the equation. Based upon this equation, we can determine the how the signal will be propagated inside the waveguide. Okay, so this is the dielectric waveguide. It should satisfy the following condition, that is 2 pi n1. So where n1 which is represents the refractive index of core. The N1 is represents the refractive index of the core material. See, this is having the refractive index of N1 and the cladding having the refractive index of N2, while the medium which is having the refractive index of N or N0. N or N0. So for reference, represent as N0 here. The medium air which is having the refractive index of N0 and the core having refractive index of N1, cladding is N2. Okay, so we are insert the signal from the air into the core. So it have the refractive index of N1 and D is represents the diameter of the core. So it is having the some diameter. So this diameter which is represented as the D, which is the core. So it have the diameter D, and cos pi. Pi is represented as the angle of incident inside the core cladding boundary. Okay, this is the angle pi at the core and cladding boundary, and lambda is represents the wavelength of the signal, and delta which is represents the phase change, how much signal phase changes. So based upon the incident signal, suppose this is assuming pi angle, this is 2 pi angle, now there will be a phase change of pi. Okay, how much angle of phase will be changes, that will be described by the delta here. And m pi, so m is represents the integer value, it can vary from 0 to infinity. Okay, so now we have to solve the equation of 2 pi n1 into d cos pi whole divided by lambda plus delta, which is equal to m pi. So this equation assuming as 1. Now the equation 1 is solved by the phase angle of a incident signal. Okay, you know about the pi, the angle of pi already we have discussed, which is calculated as from the right angle triangle theta plus pi, which is equal to 90 degrees. So from this we can find out the value of pi. Okay, the pi is equal to 90 minus theta here. So the value of cos 90 minus theta, which is sin theta. So now 2 pi n1 d sin theta by lambda plus delta, which is given as the m pi. Here one of the important point, this according to this equation, the theta value which is constant, it cannot be varied. So because here suppose assuming the value of m is equal to 1, then it is equal to the total equation, which should be equal to pi. If theta is varies, then it cannot satisfy the value of pi value. So in this case the value of theta which is constant, so the m value is integer value, it can vary from 0 to infinity. This according to this equation, the theta will be constant here, and the Ray model doesn't talk about this equation. Okay, the Ray model cannot express this equation. Okay, the incident is varies. Let us suppose the based upon the m value, the angle of incidence is varies, it cannot be justified by the Ray model. Okay, here theta value is constant. Based upon the m value, the incident angle means the incidence is varies, it cannot be justified by the Ray model. And another one is when theta is equal to 0, if theta is equal to 0 in the fiber optic cable, let us assuming this is the optical fiber, so this is the center or axis of the fiber. So if the angle of incidence is theta is equal to 0, if the angle of incidence theta is equal to 0, then the incident signal which follows the axis of the fiber and there is no reflections inside the fiber. There is no reflections inside the fiber. Okay, this is the wave model representation in the dielectric waveguide.